By the early 1500s, Europe had crossed oceans, mapped distant lands, and begun to exploit the riches of the world. Exploration was no longer enough. The era of colonization had begun, a time when European powers sought to control territories, people, and resources on a global scale. Spain led the way. Following the conquest of Hernán Cortés in Mexico 1519 to 1521, and Francisco Pizarro in Peru 1532 to 1533, Spain claimed vast territories in the Americas. These lands produced silver from the mines of Potosi and gold from Central America, fueling Spain's dominance in Europe. The Spanish crown established viceroyalties, administrative regions like New Spain and Peru, to govern colonies, extract resources, and convert indigenous peoples to Catholicism. Portugal, through the Treaty of Tordesillas, 1494, secured Brazil and maintained strongholds along the coasts of Africa, India, and Southeast Asia. Portuguese colonies in Goa, Malacca, and Macau became key nodes in the emerging Indian Ocean trade network, connecting Europe, Africa, and Asia in unprecedented ways. By the mid-16th century, England, France, and the Netherlands entered the race. The French focused on North America, establishing New France along the St. Lawrence River and trading furs with indigenous nations. The English began colonies in Newfoundland and later Jamestown, 1607, in Virginia, planting the seeds of what would become the United States. The Dutch concentrated on Asia, creating the Dutch East India Company, VOC, in 1602 to dominate spice trade routes and establish forts in Indonesia. Colonization relied heavily on labor systems. Enslaved Africans were transported across the Atlantic to work on plantations, while indigenous populations were subjected to forced labor under the Encomienda system in Spanish colonies. This brutal exploitation reshaped demographics, economies, and societies across continents. The Columbian Exchange further transformed the world. Crops like maize, potatoes, and tomatoes spread from the Americas to Europe, Asia, and Africa. Livestock such as horses, cattle, and pigs transformed indigenous agriculture and societies. Diseases like smallpox devastated populations in the Americas, reshaping entire civilizations. By the end of the 16th century, Europe had established a network of colonies, trading posts, and fortresses stretching from the Americas to Africa, India, and Southeast Asia. The Age of Colonization was a turning point. It marked the transition from exploration to global domination, a period of wealth, ambition, and profound human cost. European empires had reached across the globe, connecting continents economically, politically, and culturally. But their reach came at a price: displacement, disease, and exploitation that would echo through history. The world was interconnected as never before, yet unevenly and violently. The Age of Colonization was a story of power, profit, and human resilience, a story that continues to shape our world today. To continue exploring the dramatic events of the Age of Exploration, make sure to follow @LookingBackInTime, like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a journey into history.